Heard that.
I call the June 19, 2017 Finance Committee to order. 2 items. We'll need both chiefs to come forward, please. Might as well both of you come up front. We'll have the fire department grant. The fire department has received a safety enhancement grant from Maine Municipal Association to be used exclusively for purchasing 12 SCBA face pieces. The grant covers 2/3 of the cost, but not to exceed $1,984. The total cost of the SCBA face pieces is $2,976. Will require a city match of $992. Chief O'Malley is looking for a recommendation to full council to accept the grant funds. Sir,
That pretty much sums it up right there.
what does SCBA mean?
Self-contained breathing apparatus.
Just testing you, thank you.
There you go. So if it had a U in it, it'd be scuba. They're the same thing. So self-contained underwater breathing apparatus. That's the only difference.
Okay.
Okay, so.
Very good.
But just a little, trivia for you. How's
Do
that? You
we
can
do
stump-
this, how often do we get these things? How often do we update them?
You can get 2 a year.
Yep.
Each community in the state of Maine, they have a total here how much they've given away this year in this over the course of it, and they'll give. So we've decided to kind of switch off amongst departments. The boss probably can weigh in better on this. He decided that if we run it through him, so everyone has a fair opportunity, each department has a fair opportunity to put in for these safety grants. It kind of goes along with the safety committee and everything else like that. So I think that in the past, the Public Works has got a lift. Last time, the police department got some masks for meth labs.
Okay.
Similar to what we are wearing, and things like that. So we kind of switch off. So it works out good. And they'll pay either 2/3 of the cost or up to $2,000 of a particular item. And it's all safety based.
Okay, so this money's not coming out of fire, it's coming out of the safety?
The grant match comes out of our 7,200 account, so we have under 7,200, 350, whatever that total is that he has on here, that match comes out of that account.
Okay. Good. I think it's a great idea, I just wasn't sure how we were paying for it. Okay, any questions for the chief? This is kind of your last finance committee meeting, so if anything else you want to ask for now, you might as well do it.
Oh, really? Everything? Go. Like a wish list? We could be here all night.
We can say no, though.
That's right. All right, can I get a recommendation to the full council for this item?
I recommend this item to the full council for approval.
Okay, so that's Carol. Is there a second?
Second.
John? Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed. Thank you,
Very
Chief.
much.
All right, Chief Wilcox. Traffic lights. Police Chief Wilcox is looking for a recommendation to the full council to expend an amount not to exceed $25,000 to fix the traffic lights in front of the Hannaford. The funds will need to come from account number 03800 fund balance. This is something that Bill and I and Scott have been talking about the last few weeks because there was issues there, and then Bill had Scott check into it, and I believe Scott has come to us before saying that there was issues with the box, so we've been told by somebody no city employees can even get in the box. Is that correct?
Yeah, we put out a notice, a directive to all of the fire department. I checked that all of the police department not to access those boxes. There's no arc flash protection on that, and if you open that cabinet, you can draw 70,000 amps off the pole into it and cause a problem. So that's a vintage 70s box with the controller and the all of the programming inside of that. So what has happened is John Sear, who works for City of Bangor, he does all of our streetlights. We use the City of Bangor to do our streetlights, has come up, and what they found was a smudge or an arc inside that box, which has burnt out a turn arrow signal going into the plaza. That is going to automatically trip that box to go to flashing yellow, like you'll see it go back to flashing yellow. To fix that, we need to replace it. That's where we're at with it because of the age of the equipment. That's where he's at with it. Econolight is a company that we were recommended to utilize. That's the same type of traffic controller and boxes that have been put into Orono, Bangor. So that's what they're familiar with. That's what they work on. That's what they recommended for us to use is the Econolight. Jeff Wilson at Econolight is working. They're actually building the cabinet for the intersection. So when he puts that all together on paper, he'll forward a quote to us. That has not been completed as of yet. I was told between $16,000 and $20,000, but not sure what that will cost with an install.
Now, is that, I know you did a big presentation for us, is that the same issue that the other lights have too, that, or is this is the more serious one, as far as the arc type of thing?
No, anything that's with the vintage 70s is not arc flash protected. So, for instance, the ones at College Avenue and Stillwater Avenue, we were asked to do the ceremonies for university graduation to run the lights. We can't run the lights because it doesn't have arc flash protection. When I called John Sear and said, what does it take to, I thought maybe we could just do something to get arc flash protection. He said it cost me $20,000. So
Gotcha.
that's where those controllers are at. So we don't control any of the boxes. We don't open the boxes and hit reset buttons anymore because of that possibility of drawing the amperage off the pole.
Right. So in reality, that same thing could happen right at McDonald's one also.
Right.
I mean,
And it doesn't before, or it lasts until we get the bridge project.
that's right.
Like,
That's what
that's
I was,
all-
when I talked to Bill about this, that they're supposed
There's-
to include that in that package.
There's no guarantee that could happen. I
Right.
mean, we don't know.
But we're hoping, or we know that is included into the.
Oh, absolutely.
It
Those
is.
lights are supposed to be
Be
replaced,
upgraded.
but we
And
could,
that's 2 years away?
3 years away probably.
years.
So, but if they do go to flash, not you, but
Bangor
can come
Electric
reset
Shop
it, and then we
comes up
just
and
have to keep
resets it.
crossing our fingers.
Right,
Yeah.
and you know, the problem at Hanford is it created an arc and a smudge, and it's going to continue
That
to
one's
re-
it, right,
to
that's
read
why
that
we're
and
focused on this
continuously
one.
go into a flash mode.
Right. That's why we're focused on this one.
That's why you're focused on.
Okay.
And that one also is not part of the Stillwater Avenue corridor study.
Right.
So BACS or MDOT is not going to pay to replace the one at Hanford. They're not. That's not in their study.
Okay. That's why we got just this one on there. Okay. All right, any other questions for the chief? Looks like this would be, and once again, even the previous one, that we will not be meeting the first meeting in July, where it's July 4th week, so this would be on the agenda, the second meeting in July, 17th, yes. So can I get a recommendation to the full council on this item?
Make a recommendation to the full council to fix the traffic lights.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, John and then Carol.
Well, there's more than one up there.
Yeah, it's just a box. They're gonna fix the actual box. Yeah.
About that.
Okay, no discussion. All those in favor? None opposed. Okay, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Carol, John, all those in favor? None opposed. Okay, so that takes care of the Finance Committee. We're moving on to the special council meeting. Okay, I call the June 19th special council meeting to order. Flag salute. EJ, please. Thank you. Roll call.
Silent roll call has been taken and a quorum is present.
Okay, can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the May 15th, 2017 special meeting? Is there a motion? Okay, so Linda, motion, Carol, Jan, second. Discussion? All those in favor? None opposed, 6-0. Petitions, communications, citizens' request. At this time, is there anyone from the audience that would like to discuss an item that is not on the agenda? If so, please come forward, state your name and address. Okay, move on to council president. I was going to have Travis just briefly, in case you all didn't know it, of the games that just happened this weekend, the championship games. Can you just tell us how they ended up?
Yep, Old Town High School boys and girls were played the state championship. The girls went up winning 2-0. McKenna Smith was a pitcher, had 19 strikeouts. Well played by everybody.
Very nice.
And then the boys' side, they were 1-0 going into the 6, I think it was,
Yep.
and they wound up losing 3-1. But they played a good game too, so
Great.
they represented town well.
Very nice. Very nice. Very nice job to all. Okay, standing committees. City councilors. Okay. City attorney?
Just briefly, Mike? Bill in our office are working on a response to Mr. Mitchell's property dispute over on the island. It seems to be much more than he made of it when he was here. Seems to now thinks he owns the property.
Yes.
We'll deal
Yes.
with that. As you know, since I was last here, the State Board of Property Tax Review issued its decision in favor of the city in terms of the Red Shield Expira tax abatement request. An appeal has been filed with the Superior Court. We are not surprised that that has happened. We've given, I think, in writing our preliminary opinion on the likelihood of success on that appeal, and see nothing in the filings that would cause us to change our opinion at this point.
Okay. Thank you. Special committees. City manager.
Center Street is still closed the rest of this week. Once they get everything buttoned up there, they're going to move over to Stillwater Avenue in a section of that. So they're basically just going to flip-flop signs from that end of town to that end of town. So that's coming, but it doesn't really seem to have that bad a traffic flow now. Overall, it
So
seems
it's just
to
a
be
section,
working.
Bill. It's not the whole road.
Right.
It's just a section of
Yeah.
it.
But they still, because of the depth of the sewer lines, they have to shut the road down because they can't be in the street.
Right.
They have to be in the street, so they can't let traffic go.
So it's not, this isn't a summer project. This is just a month maybe or so, a few weeks. Is this,
Are you talking to me?
well, whoever can answer it.
From what I understand, Center Street should be done within 2 weeks, and then they're gonna move over to Stillwater. So you're talking 4 to 5 weeks, and they should have both of those.
Everything
streets.
done.
Wow, not everything, but both of those streets. done.
Both those streets, yes.
The ones that they're gonna be detouring traffic.
Okay. Okay. Thank
Actually,
you.
Center Street might have been a little bit better than Stillwater Avenue because you don't have any cross streets going to Stillwater Avenue like you
Oh,
did
yeah.
to
For Center.
Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're trying to stretch some of the dollars. We may get some extra sewer line replacement, so we'll see how that works out. But
Good.
that's it.
Good. Thank you. Okay, consent agenda, new business items number 1 and 2. Councilor Klitsch, just read the resolve first, the suggested motion.
Resolve the City Council hereby approves the suggested motions under new business items 1 and 2 as presented. Number 1, they'll consider an application from the Penobscot Nation to hold a special river rafting, national rafting regatta here again.
Nice.
Number 2, the City Council will consider writing off a sewer lien in the amount of $310.47 for the Old Town Holdings LLC due to the company going bankrupt.
Okay. Is there a second?
Second.
EJ, discussion? Bill, you given a, is that the thing last year we gave a speech to? The regatta?
On the Whitewater, that's a Penobscot Indian Nation. That's the 3rd year of that race.
I think last year maybe I said something.
Yeah, the first year they asked me to come speak there. They haven't this year.
Okay. All right, thank you. No other discussion? All those in favor? None opposed. Thank you. So we are moving on to public hearings. City Council will conduct a public hearing on a proposal to amend Chapter 2 of the Old Town Code of Ordinances by establishing Division 13 titled Public Safety Direction, Section 190, to create the new position of Public Safety Director as presented in attachment number 1. Open the public hearing. Is there anyone that would like to discuss this item? my understanding, Chief, that you've met with all the employees?
Most, yes, most of all of them. There's like two that I scheduled.
Yep. And everything's gone very good so far?
It has.
Yep.
Extremely well.
Good. And all this is into the budget this year? Very good. Okay. No other discussion? Close the public hearing. City Council consider scheduling a second reading for final approval on a proposal to amend Chapter 2 of the Old Town Code of Ordinances. Council McLeod.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby schedules a second reading for final approval for July 17th, 2017, on the proposal to amend Chapter 2 of the Old Town Code of Ordinances by establishing Division 13 titled Public Safety Director, yeah, that does make more sense. Sorry about that.
Sorry.
Yeah. Section 170 to create the new position of Public Safety Director as presented in attachment number 1.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Carol, discussion? We'll just have those edits fixed for the second reading. Okay, all those in favor? None opposed. Okay. Number 2, City Council conduct a public hearing on a proposal to create Chapter 26, Sections 1 through 12, titled Recreational Marijuana Prohibition Ordinance in the Old Town Code of Ordinances. Open the discussion. Everybody's read this, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was a gentleman that did stop up to my store that owns a warehouse here in town, and he couldn't make it tonight. He just said that he was just surprised we were doing this so quick, thinking that, how do we know that this is going to be a nuisance? Where we haven't even tried it yet. And I just said that the council basically, at this point, just doesn't want it sold in Old Town. That if people want to buy it, they can go buy it somewhere else.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yes.
I'd also just like to make note that when I advertised this in the Times, I had a typo, and it was advertised as Chapter 24. Chapter 24 was already taken, and it needed to be Chapter 26.
So we're right in the next, we're okay next up.
Everything
Okay.
is good.
Okay. Okay, that's it. I will close the public hearing. City Council will consider scheduling a second reading for final approval on a proposal to amend Chapter 26, Sections 1 through 12, titled Recreation Marijuana Prohibition. Councilor Roach.
Resolve, the Old Town City Council hereby schedules a second reading for final approval for July 17th, 2017 on a proposal to create Chapter 26, Sections 1 through 12, titled Recreational Marijuana Prohibition Ordinance in the Old Town Code of Ordinances.
Is there a second?
Second.
Jan, discussion? All those in favor? None opposed, 6-0. Okay, moving on to second readings. The Old Town City Council conduct a second reading on the proposed FY 2017-2018 municipal, county, and school budget. The proposed budget calls for city expenditures of $10,035,357, Penobscot County taxes of $627,134, and RSU number 34 expenditures of $5,559,615 for a total city, county, and RSU number 34 budget of $16,222,106, with a total city revenue of $6,099,643 for net property tax requirement of $10,122,463. Open the public hearing. Were you going to pass out new calculation sheets? I don't. We have the 2.7s. Do you have any of those?
I can print one. I got the 2.7 one. I think that's the one we printed off, right? It says 2.7 on it, but the,
I forgot to ask you earlier today to print some off. I'd just like to have it in front of us if we could. That's my fault. I forgot all about it. But I did email that out so everybody has seen it. Bill can go
Somebody-
down through.
so they'll make copies of that.
Are you printing it, Danielle, already, or some?
Oh, she's doing, okay.
Yeah, I mean, when it rounds through her stuff, it's going to come out at 2.8%. If you look at where we,
Yeah, because this doesn't add up, so go
Yeah.
ahead, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to.
so where we started from the May 15th workshop, when you had department managers present their budgets, we were at 6.7%. After those changes that were requested at that time, when we had the June 5th meeting, we were down at 6%. And since that meeting, on the changes that you asked on the expense sides, under heavy equipment, we removed the $37,500 that was in the budget. That was at $385,000. The gravel road maintenance that was in the public works that was added beyond their regular road maintenance program of $68,904 was removed. There was adjustment in benefits lines and salaries of $6,100. Woodland Avenue repairs for engineering was added in at $28,500, and then the advertising for wayfinding signs was added in for $34,958. Then went back and looked at the reserves that we discussed. The community center reserve of $28,500 for the Woodland Avenue engineering. The Juniper Ridge landfill tip fee reserve of $34,958 for the wayfinding signs. And then the $200,000 on the highway block grant reserve, which was going to be used to offset the paving budget for the MPI grant.
That's the one that's going from here downtown.
Correct. And when you add all that up, make all those changes in there, we're at 2.8%. I believe that's a worst case scenario. The state's still working on their budget right now, and this is all in as a worst case scenario. I believe we're going to get more money back for school funding. And their appropriation resolution was written that any additional funding that comes in since the vote was taken will go to reduce the tax rate. And it's the same thing, on the city side. Our budget's in. We're not going to adjust the budget. So if we get additional municipal revenue sharing money, that would offset also.
And we don't have to meet again to accept that. It's just, you guys would just put it in there.
Correct.
Okay, so she's bringing in the copies here any second. So we're at it's ended up at 2.8.
Right.
With everything
Once
that we
you
asked
round
in there.
everything, yep.
Okay. I don't have it in front of me. Is that it right there? Oh, here we go. I'm sorry, once again, I just thought we'd have them all. I should have asked.
I printed the old one and I had the new one right here.
You did?
I need a little exercise.
This one's different. Different than the one you gave something.
Well, this one has the changes that Bill just went over.
I think the one that I'd sent him already had those changes in there when it was 2.7.
No, this is 2.2. No, it's no big deal.
No.
We're talking
No.
1/10 of a percent,
Right.
100th of a percent. I think I'm okay.
Yep, so basically it has the reserves.
Yeah.
The three reserves, one's offsetting as Bill stated, one's offsetting the Woodland Avenue engineering, one's offsetting the wayfinding signs, and then we're taking 200,000 to offset the budget.
MPI, and that's going to, basically, that money will be used to offset that MPI
That amount.
match, correct?
Right, and we got rid of the extra money for the
The gravel road.
gravel roads.
Yep.
And the extra
Heavy
money out of the
equipment
heavy
reserve got,
So all set in, everything at 2.8, but you feel that we're gonna be below that once the state finalizes their budget?
yes.
And if the state ends up going into July, how does that affect us?
It shouldn't impact us. In 2013, when we had that, when the state was arguing about municipal revenue sharing, we weren't sure what that cut was going to be. We're in this budget, we're in worst case scenario right now.
That's with no more money coming in.
Right. Or no more money going out, however
No
you
more-
want,
yeah.
however you want to consider it.
Right. Okay, what do we have for questions? I mean, I think we've been over this and we bare bones it. And I think this is helping us. I think we're in pretty good shape. I mean, we started at 6 something and ended up down to here. And we're able to do a couple extra things. I think the city's, Bill and the city staff, Danielle, everybody, all the department heads did a great job. And like I said, I ended up at 2.8, but I think you're right that we're going to end up better than that.
I think it's going to be less than that, and for the first time in many years, this valuation is using last year's value. Again, we're not going to know what that mill rate's going to be until Travis finishes all of his inspections, but you know, we're going to pick up some value this year, which would be the first time we've actually increased value. We're not going to pick up a lot of valuation, but that number will end up being higher than it. And normally this number has gone down dramatically.
Right. Like last year, it went down quite a bit. Linda?
So, with that scenario, things start to, the tax bill would be less than the when they go out, will be less than what we have here.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So it will be reflected.
Yep.
Okay, good.
And hopefully, I mean, I can, you know, as this moves forward, you know, I'll definitely keep you in the loop here. Next week, Senator Thibodeau is confident that the governor is going to act on the budget next week. I'm not quite as confident as he is.
I
But
saw something about a state shutdown. One of them pushing for a state shutdown. I saw that this morning.
yeah,
That's why I'm wondering how it would affect us, but you feel comfortable that.
that's what he was saying this morning. So we'll see. They'll, I'm sure they'll come to a compromise and get it done.
Okay. Good. Okay, so at this point, I would ask, is there anybody from the audience that would like to discuss the budget? If so, please come forward, state your name and address. Okay. Close the public hearing. The Old Town City Council consider final approval on the FY 2017-2018 municipal, county, and school budgets. Councilor Nuttall.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the proposed fiscal year 2017-2018 municipal, county, and school budget. The proposed budget calls for city expenditures of $10,035,357, Penobscot County taxes of $627,134, and RSU number 34 expenditures of $5,559,615, for a total city, county, and RSU 34 budget of $16,222,106, with a total city revenue of $6,099,643, for a net property tax requirement of $10,122,463.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Okay, Jan, discussion. At this point, is there anyone that would like to make a motion to amend this?
I would like to make that motion to amend the budget.
Okay.
How you want
We have
to-
an amendment in front of us. Carol, read that.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the proposed FY 2017-2018 municipal, county, and school budget. The proposed budget calls for city expenditures of $9,996,200, Penobscot County taxes of $627,134, and RSU 34 expenditures of $5,559,615, for a total city, county, and RSU number 34 budget of $16,182,949, with total city revenue of $6,169,643, for a net property tax requirement of $10,013,306.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
Linda, discussion. Okay, this is a roll call vote. We will vote on the amendment first.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
Counselor May?
Yes.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
Counselor Nuttall?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. So now we will vote on the motion as amended. Roll call vote.
Counselor Nuttall?
Yes.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
Counselor May?
Yes.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. Okay, thank you. We are moving on to number 2. The Old Town City Council conduct a second reading on the proposed FY 2017-2018 pollution control budget containing gross appropriations of $5,154,969, user fee revenue of $4,125,800, debt redemption of $405,697, anticipated transfers from reserve accounts of $435,000 with a net appropriation to from fund balance of $188,472. Open the public hearing. We've talked about this, really nothing.
Yeah, I mean, the two biggest changes was the 5% rate increase. And as we said before, we had to add a line for short-lived assets, which are basically vehicles. USDA required us to put that in the budget last year, so that's a new line that's added to the sewer department. But
Right.
besides that, it's basically user fees that runs a wastewater treatment plant.
And 5% again next year, correct?
Yeah, and I'm probably gonna ask for the fourth year also.
Well,
But
next
it's-
year, at the end of next year, will that get us up running where we should be?
That's
Black, or
something
is that-
Danielle and I have to sit down
Okay.
and discuss. It'll be close, but I think we're still gonna be a little short.
A little short.
I think so.
Okay. Okay, is there anyone from the audience that would like to discuss this item? If so, please come forward, state your name and address. Okay, close the public hearing. The Old Town City Council consider final approval of the FY 2017-2018 pollution control budget. Councilor May.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves the proposed FY 2017-2018 pollution control budget containing gross appropriations of $5,154,969, user fee revenue of $4,125,800, debt redemption of $405,697, and anticipated transfer from reserve accounts of $435,000 with a net appropriation to fund balance of $188,472.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Jan, discussion? This is a roll call vote.
Counselor Roach?
Yes.
Counselor Klitsch?
Yes.
Counselor May?
Yes.
Counselor McLeod?
Yes.
Counselor Nuttall?
Yes.
And Counselor Mahan?
Yes. Okay, we'll move on to new business, the last item on the agenda. City Council consider going into executive session for the purpose of discussing an economic development update related to Experior Mill. Councilor May.
Resolved, the Old Town City Council hereby approves going into executive session pursuant to MRSA Title 405, Section 6C, for the purpose of discussing an economic development update relating to the Experior Mill.
Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Linda, discussion. All those in favor? And opposed? It's 7:03 PM.